Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I wanted to tell you guys a little story here tonight, and it's basically one of the frugal things that I learned from my mother, from my father, from my grandmother, and a lot of the old timers around when I was growing up. And what that is they never threw out a bucket. They never threw out a pail. They always had some way that they utilized pails and buckets. And nowadays, we are surrounded by just great examples of pails and buckets that most people just discard and throw out. And this one right here is probably my favorite one. It is the old cat litter bucket, the square cat litter bucket with the lid on it. And I cannot tell you how many different uses one of these guys have. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's a cat litter bucket for the things that I use buckets for. You know, I've used these to put kindling in. I've used these to grow potatoes and stuff in. I've used these for fishing buckets. In fact, I did a video a while back where my late father-in-law, he showed me how to turn these buckets into bait buckets. And again, it's one of those kind of golden repurposing things that the old timers did all the time. But it didn't matter if a bucket had like holes in the bottom where it wouldn't hold liquid anymore. They would use it for kindling. They would use it for potatoes. They would use it for any number of things where those holes in the bottom didn't matter. I seen plastic 5-gallon pails that maybe had a crack or a split. They would tape that up and they would use it for something else, something light that didn't really matter. But, you know, nowadays, things like ice cream pails were a huge one. Half the time, when I was a kid growing up, the old timers bought the ice cream in pails, not just for the ice cream, but also for the pail afterwards. And they would use that out in the garden. They would use that to pick berries with. They would use that to go and collect eggs. Those pails were like a modern day basket, you know, like natives would use baskets for, you know, different things and collecting and gathering, and they would make pottery and whatever. And our plastic buckets nowadays were for that. And same thing with metal buckets. If a metal bucket got a hole in it, a little hole rusted through in the bottom or something, they would use it for something else. And when it comes to preparedness and some type of massive SHTF situation, especially something that's a long-term event, we have been spoiled here in our modern era when it comes to containers. We are surrounded by containers, but containers are really sort of difficult to fabricate from, you know, makeshift stuff. So any type of container that you can get and you can repurpose for something, that's solid gold. It's not only saves you money, it's a good way to use what you have and to utilize that. And what better time than right now before some SHTF event happens to learn how to do that stuff. But like I said, if you ever get a chance, you know, Google that sometime, looking up things that you can make with 5-gallon pails and stuff. You are going to be just blown away by all the different things that they can do with it. But it was something, you know, I seen people tossing a couple of these out here just recently. I said, hey, what was in them? And they said, oh, nothing. We just used up the cat litter in them. I said, give them to me. I'll find some use for them. And these guys in particular, you know, they can be stacked up and you don't have to pay for the lid, because lids on 5-gallon buckets nowadays are ridiculously expensive, especially the gamma lids that screw on. They're really nice to have, but man, oh man, are they expensive. So if you can find a bucket that's already got a lid on it, I don't want to sound like a weirdo, but I'll tell you what, that's a good day right there. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys get a little information, a little entertainment out of my videos here. But you know what? Never turn down a bucket. They can be used for a lot of different things. Another thing Mom and Dad would always use buckets for, if the bottom was busted out of them, they'd make hot caps out of them, especially when there's a chance of frost like this time of year. They would put that over the plant, and you would be surprised. That would give the plant protection from the wind and whatever. Just another way that they would use them buckets that you would think that they would be thrown out. But anyway, I appreciate you guys out there. Hope you guys always get something from my videos. You guys take care.